I don't know if that's because they think Unrivaled's going to be around. Surely to God not. After seeing those ratings, that league is doomed. Let's just keep it real. I mean, no more Mr. Nice Guy. That league is doomed. Maybe one more year. I don't even know if they'll get that because of Project B. They're going to lose talent. Yada yada yada. I don't know if Project B's why they think they got that in their hip pocket. I don't know. But two things have now emerged.
The ongoing deterioration of relations between the WNBA Players Association and league management continues to escalate, with the situation now appearing driven primarily by financial demands that exceed what many observers consider reasonable. What initially presented itself as a straightforward request for improved compensation has evolved into something more complex and problematic. Following the controversial declaration issued by the athletes' representative body, which drew widespread criticism for its confrontational tone and extensive length, the trajectory suggests a path toward organizational collapse. Questions arise about whether this confidence stems from alternative leagues like Unrivaled, though recent viewership data suggests that competition faces severe challenges and likely has limited longevity. Other potential ventures may be influencing strategic calculations, though their viability remains uncertain.
But two things have now emerged. You got an issue involving arenas? Holy crap. By the way, make sure you subscribe or check to make sure you're still subscribed. I'm going to say that in as many videos as I can. I brought that up earlier. Holy crap. I can't believe the amount of people that are still having to resubscribe to the channel that didn't know they were unsubscribed. It's crazy as hell. I've never seen anything like it. And now it's starting to trickle over to the football channel. One guy said I had to resubscribe to this channel 4 times.
Two significant developments have now surfaced that could dramatically alter the negotiation landscape. Management and franchise ownership have announced their intention to proceed under status quo arrangements rather than implementing a lockout. This decision enables a strategic move that could create substantial pressure on the union. Teams will begin extending contract proposals to unrestricted players despite the absence of a finalized collective bargaining agreement. According to reports, the league has informed all franchises that they possess authorization to transmit qualifying proposals to eligible athletes. This development carries potentially significant implications for union solidarity.
And now it's starting to trickle over to the football channel. One guy said I had to resubscribe to this channel 4 times. YouTube, what the bleep are you doing? What are you doing exactly? So we got this about arenas, and we've got the WNBA themselves, the owners. Oh, they're about to play some hardball. They've said we're not going to lock out. We're going to go into a status quo. So what are they about to do? They're about to tempt these players with some money. You want to...
United States labor regulations require the organization to maintain existing operational standards, which includes permitting the distribution of qualifying proposals under the recently expired contract framework. While both parties could negotiate a suspension period that would freeze all player movement activities until a fresh agreement receives approval, no such arrangement currently exists. Shortly before the midnight deadline, league representatives reportedly constructed and presented a proposal for such a suspension to the union, but implementation never occurred. In the absence of this freeze, organizational leadership spent recent days briefing general managers and franchise executives, informing them that the continuation period allows them to begin transmitting qualifying proposals starting immediately. This tactical maneuver by management demonstrates sophisticated negotiating strategy.
About to do? They're about to tempt these players with some money. You want to see a fracture in the Players Association? Adam Silver is about to play serious hardball, and this is hilarious. I'm not going to go through that ridiculous statement we saw earlier from the players. I'm not doing that again. I already did that in the video. However, look at what this headline says. WNBA is telling teams they can send free agent offers amid CBA uncertainty.
Once athletes begin receiving concrete financial proposals with specific dollar amounts, the abstract nature of negotiation disputes becomes tangible reality. Players who have earned modest salaries may suddenly confront opportunities for substantial increases, potentially creating divisions within union ranks. The union has attempted to minimize the significance of this development. Sources indicate that player representatives consider processing contract movements without a finalized agreement to be meaningless exercise. Their official communication maintained accusations that management and ownership continue undervaluing athlete contributions, dismissing concerns, and deliberately allowing negotiation time to expire.
It says WNBA is telling teams they can send free agent offers amid CBA uncertainty. Guys, teams are about to start sending out free agent offers to players. No, you're going to have some players that hadn't been making much money all of a sudden look up and they're like, oh, wait a minute. What now? Once they start seeing actual figures to them that could be on their checks.
However, the practical impact of actual contract offers arriving at players' doors may tell a different story. The current situation means that under existing salary frameworks, not the enhanced compensation structures proposed but not yet accepted, teams can still extend offers. Whether these proposals will reflect the increased wages management has already offered or remain bound by previous agreement terms remains unclear. If franchises can include proposed increases in these qualifying offers, the impact could be substantial. Consider an athlete who previously earned a modest salary suddenly receiving a maximum contract offer they weren't eligible for under prior arrangements.
That could be on their checks. It's going to get interesting. Under the U.S. labor law, the WNBA has a status quo obligation to allow the sending of qualifying offers under the expired agreement. A moratorium, a legally authorized period of delay, could be agreed to by the union and the league, resulting in a complete pause of free agent activity until a new CBA is ratified. As of Friday night, just before midnight, multiple league sources told Front Office Sports a moratorium was under construction.
The transformation from their current situation to significantly enhanced compensation, even under existing operational conditions, could prove irresistible. If organizations can include their known proposed increases in these offers, viewing them perhaps as baseline commitments, they're prepared to honor the effect intensifies. An athlete earning $250,000 receiving a qualifying proposal worth over $1 million would represent a life-changing opportunity comparable to unexpected financial windfalls. Such tangible offers place individual players in difficult positions, potentially forcing them to prioritize personal financial security over collective bargaining strategy. Management appears to be executing a calculated plan that positions athletes in circumstances where their immediate economic interests conflict with prolonged negotiation standoffs.
Was under construction, proposed by the league to the players' union an hour before the CBA deadline. With no moratorium yet in place, WNBA officials spent the past 2 days calling general managers and executives from every franchise to tell them the status quo period means they can send out qualifying offers to free agents beginning January.
This represents strategic maneuvering rather than reactive responses. League leadership demonstrates sophisticated tactical thinking while the union appears less prepared for this type of pressure. Additional complications have emerged regarding operational logistics. A prominent basketball journalist covering the sport for a major network has noted growing concerns about how negotiation delays might impact next season's scheduling. While training facilities don't open until spring months, meaning immediate consequences remain limited, the extended uncertainty creates problematic situations.
They can send out qualifying offers to free agents beginning January 11th, tomorrow. Sources told Front Office Sports. Wow. Now, of course, the Players Association are trying to downplay this. The same sources told Front Office Sports they view going through the motions of free agency without CBA in place is pointless. In a statement late Friday night, the union said that the league and owners remain committed.
Without a finalized collective bargaining agreement, no official schedule can be established. This vacuum allows venue operators to commit dates to alternative events, potentially leaving the basketball organization without secured locations. The longer this standoff continues, the greater the risk that facilities will commit to concerts, conventions, or other sporting events, leaving the league scrambling for available dates. Further complications involve player movement procedures and the upcoming expansion selection process, both requiring resolution relatively soon to maintain operational coherence. These mounting logistical pressures add urgency beyond the financial negotiations themselves.
Chi-Town Barbie, no mention of the Chicago Sky. That's it. No mention of anything. I don't know if this is they're about to trade me. They got to trade, or I'm no longer a member of the Sky, or this could be a fuck the WNBA. This league may as well not exist, because she doesn't say even what league she plays as a pro athlete in. And that is one of the interesting things here to see. Is you've got Angel to Dallas soon.
Observers note that much of the aggressive negotiating posture appears driven by veteran athletes approaching career conclusions. These established players may be attempting to maximize earnings during their remaining seasons, prioritizing immediate gains over long-term organizational health. The practical suggestion emerges that these athletes should accept proposed agreements, allowing maximum earnings reaching $2 million through the contract period, then supplement income through alternative leagues and opportunities that could potentially generate substantial additional compensation over subsequent years. The prospect of losing secured venue dates represents a critical inflection point. Organizations and arenas operate on advanced booking schedules, and basketball dates held tentatively will eventually be released to other clients if contractual certainty doesn't materialize.
We've got Angel to Dallas soon. Are Dallas willing to give up the number one pick? They might be. I think Angel's worth the number one pick. I think Angel's going to be better than any player in this draft. But again, I'm just super high on Angel Reese, a player. So I think Angel Reese is better than. I think she's a much higher floor than Awafam. I think she's a perennial all-star. And I think there's no one in this draft that I think is a guaranteed perennial all-star. I think Flau'jae maybe, Awafam.
This creates concrete consequences beyond rhetorical positioning and abstract negotiation principles. Management's strategy of distributing qualifying offers introduces another layer of strategic complexity. An athlete seeking to expand their marketability and public profile might receive a proposal from the league's most popular franchise. The documented impact of joining high-profile teams on player visibility and commercial opportunities provides tangible evidence of career benefits beyond salary figures. Athletes could find themselves weighing qualifying offers from prestigious organizations against abstract solidarity with union positions.
That I think is a guaranteed perennial all-star. I think Flau'jae maybe, Awafam maybe. I think AZ is going to be a solid player, I guess. But yeah, it is what it is. It says obviously Bayou Barbie, not Chi-Town. Pro athlete, you better have Dallas Wings right next to her in 2028. I mean, what do the Dallas Wings, if they don't give up the number one pick, what do they have to trade? Their 2027, what would you have to do? You'd have to trade their 2027 pick, the Aces 2027 pick, the rights to Geisel Suter.
The explosion of popularity experienced by players associated with successful, high-visibility franchises demonstrates real-world advantages. An athlete receiving such an opportunity may struggle to maintain collective bargaining discipline when confronted with transformative career possibilities. Whether the specific details of which franchises extend which proposals to particular athletes will become public information remains uncertain, though such transparency could further complicate union cohesion if members perceive differential treatment or opportunity distribution. The situation has evolved into a high-stakes game where management appears to hold increasingly strong tactical positions while the union faces mounting pressure from multiple directions, financial, logistical, and potentially from internal divisions as individual members confront attractive personal opportunities. The ongoing collective bargaining dispute between the Women's National Basketball Association and its athletes' union has escalated into what many observers characterize as a critical juncture for the organization's survival.
Pick. The rights to Geisel Suter. And maybe one of Zaza James or Quinterly. That's what it would cost to get injuries. Could it be worth it? Maybe. Because that means you can bring in AZ. You draft AZ 1 if that's the case. All you need to do is bring in a 5. You bring in a legit 5. Or you find a shooter. You try to convince a K-Mac to come if Minnesota want to keep, like, if Minnesota want to keep A, for example.
What initially presented as standard compensation negotiations has transformed into something more concerning, with accusations of excessive demands threatening the league's fundamental stability. Following aggressive statements from the union representatives, questions arise about their strategic calculations. Alternative professional ventures like Unrivaled face significant sustainability challenges based on current viewership data, suggesting these operations may not survive beyond another season at most. The emergence of competing leagues further complicates the landscape, though none appear positioned for long-term viability.
Like, if Minnesota want to keep A, for example, an Alana Smith, and they can't afford McBride, and they want to keep Courtney Williams, if you can convince a K-Mac to come who's better than AZ, and you have Awa and Angel and Kate and Paige, that's an elite young big three. Shit. Really hope Angel is traded to Dallas or San Francisco. What the fuck do the Valkyries have to trade? I'm not joking when I say this. The Valkyries can't trade anything unless, what would the Valkyries have to give to Chicago? The Valkyries would have to give.
Whether union leadership believes these alternatives provide genuine fallback options remains unclear. Two significant developments have emerged from the stalemate. Arena scheduling conflicts now pose logistical threats, while league ownership has adopted an assertive negotiating posture that could prove decisive. Management announced intentions to avoid implementing a lockout, instead operating under existing framework provisions.
The Valkyries would have to give Juste Jacite the 8th pick in this year's draft, their 2027 first-round pick, and the rights to Kate Martin, like, to make up for jersey sales. Like, that's what it will cost for Angel Reese, where it's like, you are giving up a lot. You're giving up a lot. And like, Jacite projects to walk in as a starter. Like, it's probably.
This approach allows teams to extend contract proposals to unsigned athletes, a tactical move designed to apply direct pressure on individual union members. Under American labor regulations, organizations operating during expired agreement periods maintain obligations to honor previous procedural requirements, including the ability to issue qualifying offers. While both parties could negotiate a moratorium freezing all transaction activity until new terms are established, no such agreement currently exists. According to multiple organizational sources, management proposed such a freeze to union representatives approximately 1 hour before the deadline.
Like, it's probably going to be her and Burton at the guard position. And the two of them are like these combo guards, this modern basketball, two ball handlers line up with Jacite and Burton. Like, they project both. I would assume both of them are going to start. Because of what Jacite is doing this season for Girona is unbelievable. So I would assume they're both going to start. And you're basically having to get like the young point guard of future for the Sky.
However, with no moratorium implemented, league officials spent recent days instructing franchise executives that they possess authority to transmit qualifying offers to unrestricted athletes beginning immediately. This represents a calculated strategic maneuver. Union representatives attempt to minimize the significance of this development, characterizing transaction activity under expired agreement conditions as meaningless. Their official response accused ownership of deliberately undervaluing athletic contributions, dismissing legitimate concerns, and employing delay tactics.
Young point guard of future for the Sky. And then with that means the Sky with 5 maybe, because they're going to keep Cardoso. What do? Do you bank on Fan being there? You might have to bank on Fan being there, or maybe trading down if somebody really wants a Flaude or a Tania Latson. Trade down with like trade down with Connecticut or something if they really want like Flaude as a face of their franchise or something, and go.
However, the practical implications cannot be dismissed. Athletes currently earning modest salaries may suddenly receive formal contract proposals with substantially higher compensation figures. When professionals see specific dollar amounts that could appear on their actual compensation checks, solidarity becomes more difficult to maintain. Current circumstances prevent offering the enhanced salary structures being negotiated, as those terms remain unratified.